She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I get smoked already so hard in my blunt is. I see guys pretty faces, so I got trouble trusting. But I let my guard down for you. Said I'll put my guard down for you. Said I'll be vulnerable, so you can break my heart if you want to. She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. No crib, told her come through, it's time to break it in. 32 like my pen size, cause the niggas try breaking it. No condo, say your name at the front. You can stay if you want. It's been one of those nights I ain't had in a minute. It's been a minute, had to pop the from the Ricky, ain't the feeling. But it's never the same as the first time we did it. First time we did it, but I let my guard down for you. Said I'll put my guard down for you. Said I'll be vulnerable, so you can break my heart if you want to. She said, take your time, what's the rush? Take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a man. She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a man. I'm a dog, I'm a man.
So I need to be doing something with my hands while I'm talking, otherwise my brain will just start buffering. So we're gonna do a little skincare and makeup while I catch you guys up. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kels, and let's get right into it. Okay, so if you're new here, I might as well let you know that my dad passed away in January of 2022. And ever since then, I kind of feel like I've been spiraling. And I think a lot of us don't realize that we're in survival mode until something forces us to. And for me, that was my job. My job, and how unhappy I was with my job for the past at least 3 years. I think the reason why it took me so long as well is because our parents had careers for years, okay? A lot of our parents, if you're a millennial, kept the same job for our entire childhood. And for me, I just thought that was the norm, and that if I couldn't figure out a way to do that, something must be wrong with me. And it just so happened that that wasn't really the case. I had the title, the paycheck, the regular routine, but I just felt numb. And mind you, I started this job literally days before my dad passed away. So I had been pretty much working without a break this whole time. I did take off for a month. And, you know, it didn't really do much, if I'm being honest. I've gotten promotions at this company, what anyone could ask for or hope for, right? But like, for me specifically, as a Black queer millennial, I just felt so much pressure to always be strong or like grinding, girl bossing. So, brief intermission, I just had a call with a life insurance agent as I'm talking about being a millennial. So, anyway, where was I? You know, our parents all had their jobs for so long, and that was just the normal thing for us to see them start a career, and some of us even have seen our parents retire and finish their careers, or at least be in the career for 30 years. But that pressure that I was putting on myself, that desire literally almost broke me because of how unhappy I was. I've always, since I was a kid, felt drawn to do something that I was passionate about and have a career that I love, so that, it doesn't feel like work, right? Isn't that everybody's ideal? But I knew that I was destined for something pretty special, and I've always been drawn to entrepreneurship. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've even tried the MLMs, but I pretty much decided that being that my dad had passed away at 55, I wasn't willing to spend 20 to 30 years at a job that I completely hated and was unhappy with. I just was not going to do it. So, with that in mind, I made a decision. I decided that I was going to give myself a soft life in a different way. What I was doing was not a soft life. And trust me, I was doing a lot of self-care in this time. But self-care and soft life isn't all about bubble baths and aesthetics, okay? Deep down, I knew that something needed to change, and it wasn't just my job. It was my ideals of what would make me happy and what that was worth. I never want to put myself in a position where if I were to leave the earth, I had not given it my all and tried to make something work that I really, really, really wanted for myself. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that feeling, but that's just where I was. The soft life really should be about waking up without dread, being able to take walks without guilt or feeling like you're not going to be able to get your job done, saying no without explaining myself. Like, all these things aligned with how I was living or was choosing to live, just and settle. Honestly, that's really what it was. So I started doing little things that helped me feel present again. And if I'm being honest, that meant a lot of crying. Ironically, I started these somatic exercises. I found an app came across my Instagram for somatic exercises. They're basically like hip openers, like a bunch of positions and body movements that you put yourself in that bring up all these emotions and are supposedly, well, they do. I believe they do help you to balance your hormones because you are releasing like cortisol and putting your body in a like parasympathetic state. So that really led me to be like, whoa, I'm not okay. Like, I literally have been ignoring my body signals. Like, I feel like for longer than 3 years, honestly, I've been lying to myself about what I really wanted to do with my life and the fact that grinding was not a part of that. I think I just started like as soon as I graduated college to feel like I had to be a big girl and get a big girl job. But I should have like gave myself some time to kind of figure it out. But who gets to do that, right? Like, we all have to get a job because we have bills to pay. So fast forward to, I guess, I don't know, December of last year, I started really having conversations about what it might look like to leave my job because my position changed. My manager left and I was being promoted to a position without being able to decide. I'm not going to go too much into depth of like my job and like what occurred and all of that, but I can say that I just knew that it was time for me to start finding something that was more aligned and actually have a choice in what career I wanted. And most importantly, I wanted to prioritize slowing down. And my current job just isn't allowing me or hadn't been allowing me to do that. I love this little blush from e.l.f. Also, I've got my mirror here. I literally used to think success meant being busy. And I think that was just a part of like what I had seen growing up. Like, my parents just always on the go, specifically my mom, like never really taking a moment to rest. But now, to me, success is about being well, right? Like, as a holistic health coach, I was doing all of these things while working to that where I was passionate about, but I was like not living in it, like literally helping other people to bring softness into their life, but not even really having that for myself because I was always literally in autopilot, just getting up, going into work, trying to create some content and push out content that helps other people, but still like not really making them work with myself. literally dreading waking up and doing the same thing over and over again. When you notice that you're in that cycle, you really have to be real with yourself or else it'll continue. And that's when especially my spouse and my partner came in with us just having real conversations about how I was feeling, because she could tell that something just wasn't right. So my new focus is building a life that centers wellness and health and my joy and like my womb healing, because all of this also goes back to my sacred space of creation and how I wasn't really able to move from that space. So now that's going to look more like herbal products, focusing on coaching, making content, and actually having time to live. Because that was my main thing, especially again, watching my father pass away at such a young age. And yes, he did live his life and he loved his career because he was a jet engine mechanic and he loved planes. But knowing that there was so much more life that he could have experienced just really, it did something to me. It's still scary. I definitely don't have it all figured out. I'm not coming here to say like I know my exact next step, that I've made the perfect decision with my job, but I trust myself and I trust my body more than I ever have, because the low that I was at, I realized that like it doesn't get much lower, than hating pretty much every day that you wake up and go to work. So I really wanted to make this video for someone who's feeling burnt out. If you are watching this and you're feeling burnt out, just know that it's okay to rest. If you're in corporate America like myself, if you're in corporate America like myself and you're feeling burnt out, definitely look into benefits and see if your job has any type of FMLA that you can take as just a break. You could definitely have your doctor pretty much write you out. Like, mental health is extremely important. People really don't realize how much that impacts your everyday. And then you have to be able to give yourself permission to take that break and not feel guilty. Because when I did take FMLA, I felt pretty guilty because I'm like, is this really enough is what I'm going through bad enough? And it doesn't have to be bad enough. It just has to be something that you tell yourself that you can't deal with, because you know the consequences. The consequences is extreme depression, not being able to get up, not being able to take care of yourself, let alone your partner or kids. And if this means you're completely starting over and maybe even switching past or pivoting your career, that's okay. It's okay to outgrow the life that you once worked really, really hard for. It is our birthright to choose softness and choose a life that we love, even though it may feel like it's not sometimes. You really just have to work on how you define success for yourself, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So I'm pretty much almost done with my face here. I'm going to give you guys a close-up in a second. I really want to know if this resonates with you. If you're working on creating a soft life, tell me what that looks like for you. I feel like it's going to be different for everyone. Not everyone is into like herbal teas and yoni steaming, but I think we should all be into standing up for ourselves, taking life into our own hands. Saturn just moved into Aries, and really, Saturn is going to reward us if we're taking initiative. So if we're doing things that we've been putting off for years, if we're taking calculated risk, if we're getting really particular about what energy we're allowing in our lives, whether that's jobs, people, family members, habits that we no longer align with, I encourage you to be very selective about these things and watch how your life starts to transform. I'm a Scorpio, Aquarius rising, so you already know boundaries are my best friend. It's just become that way over the years, and it's honestly helped me to really trust myself and trust my intuition and feelings about what's right for me. So if you've been feeling burnt out, and you've been looking for a sign to take a rest, let this be your sign. The universe definitely sent you this video for a reason. So I think that does it for my makeup here. Feeling better already. I'm going to have all my socials in the description box so you guys know where to follow me. You can talk more about this on my Patreon or on TikTok where I'm the most active. So if you vibe with this energy and this video, definitely subscribe. I am creating the soft light. I am going to be documenting healing, my journey and my career, and pretty much everything in between. I'm just so excited about it. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Audio Jungle.